Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel and 2023. Hopefully you were able to watch and enjoy the few videos that I put up at the last minute on December 31st. My first video was my top 10 customs of the year, and my second video was all of my customs for the year. I had to shoot that video from work because I ended up having to work New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and was super busy, unfortunately. So I didn't get this video shot, so I'm doing that now on the 3rd of January, which is a little later than I wanted to. And since I didn't get it shot, we're gonna put it out now. So, top 10 acquisitions for 2022. Man, that is a tough topic to tackle, quite honestly. There was a lot of cool stuff coming out this year, both just coming out as new figures, and I spent a lot of time and effort collecting my specialty Vipers. So I got a lot of cool stuff. So I spent quite a bit of time getting some really cool figures for this year. And let's just get right into it. So at number 10, I'm gonna go with the Toy Warhammer 40K Blood Angels Incisors set. I don't do pen and paper gaming, but I really do like the mythos behind Warhammer 4K. The storyline is so insanely in-depth. It's just awesome. And I love armored figures. I really would have liked to have collected this whole line, but Toy puts stuff out so quickly, and their stuff is so expensive that it's very hard to keep up with it. And I realized early on that I was not going to be able to do that, so I didn't even try. But I had to have at least one set of the Warhammer figures, and just based off of the color scheme and a little bit on the backstory, I decided that this was the set I was going to pick up. Coming in at number 9, this is a figure that I was really hoping that Boss Fight would do, a female Knight of Asperity, and sure enough, they did, and it's fantastic. She comes with a interchangeable head with the visor down, skull head, with the traditional Knights of Asperity helmet, a huge claymore sword, a halberd with an interchangeable kind of spear, and a newly designed shield. It's a little smaller than the traditional Knights of Asperity shield. What's really kind of cool about it is it has a couple of loops in there for it to hold a sword, which I really like. It's a fantastic figure. The articulation's amazing. The detail is amazing. I really am happy to have this figure. I did a review on it once, video review. It's on the channel. I can't say enough about this particular figure, about how awesome it is. Coming in at number 8 is not just one figure, but 3, and that's the Hiya Toys RoboCop stuff. You can see here I picked up the RoboCop Kane from RoboCop 2 and the ED-209 from the original RoboCop movie. The detail in these things is phenomenal. Hiya Toys has been kind of hit or miss as far as quality. I haven't had any quality issues with it. I love the detail. I love the sculpting. And, you know, this is one of my favorite movies as a kid. I think this was the first R-rated movie I saw in the theater as a kid. I would have killed for figures like this as a kid. Number 7 was a tough choice for me to pick because I did a trade. I traded my second flag for other G.I. Joe stuff, and almost went with the G.I. Joe Retaliator helicopter. But instead, I had to go with the Mobile Command Center. It's darn near complete. The only thing that's missing one of the side guns, on chin guns. I think one of the one of the windshields is missing, and the bottom part of the ramp is missing a peg, is broken a peg. And really happy to have the MCC back in my collection. Number 6, Bumblebee Striker. And when I got this thing in hand, you know, some people had already had it and they had complained about how soft the plastic was. So I was a little nervous to get this in hand, and holy shit, I was freaking impressed with this thing. Yes, the plastic is soft compared to what you're used to in other vehicles, but you know what? That plastic is not going to break in 30 years. It is a fantastic toy. It's really easy to transform. It transforms very well. This thing is fantastic. It comes with the retro stalker figure, but honestly, this thing is a fun toy. Coming in at number 5, I'm gonna go with not just one figure, but a set of figures, and that is the Flaming Moth series. If you're not familiar with it, what the Flaming Moth series is a 4 sets of 2 figures that came out, that was put out by the Collectors Club in 2006. There were 3 Cobra sets and 1 G.I. Joe set. The premise was that a G.I. Joe satellite broke up in orbit and crashed on the Earth, and G.I. Joe was racing Cobra to get the components. I did not pick up the G.I. Joe set since I'm collecting the Cobra stuff. The Jungle set included the Night Viper and the Frag Viper, which you can see here. The Desert set had a Range Viper, which is one of my favorite characters, and the Flak Viper, and the Arctic set, which came with an Ice Viper and a Snow Serpent. For O-ring figures and repaints, these things are fun and fantastic figures, and super happy that I have them in my collection. Coming in at number 4 is not a figure at all. It's an autograph, and that is an autograph from Brian Cummings, the voice actor for Dr. Mindbender from the original G.I. Joe cartoon. Let me do some photos with him, as you can see here, and was just all around a cool guy to talk to. Spent a lot of time in 2022 getting specialty Vipers for my collection, so I figured I had to throw one of those in here, and this is the one I picked. The Shock Viper version 1. I think a lot of people are gonna kind of scratch their head on this one and say, well, it's just a Ice Cream Soldier repaint, because this one was extremely hard to find. This was made in 2002. It was part of the Real American Hero Collection Wave 5 that was not released in stores. It was only available in limited quantities to online retailers. So number 1, all the figures from this particular wave were hard to get at the time, let alone now. And this particular figure came with the version 2 Serpentor, which has a fantastic color scheme and is in demand, and especially carded. So when my poor Shock Viper comes with the figure that everybody else wants, it makes this particular figure extremely hard to get, just due to, as I said, being online exclusive and packaged with that Serpentor figure, which everybody really wants. I mean, hell, I want that Serpentor figure. Number 2, I'm gonna kind of step outside the 1/18th scale boundary and go with the G.I. Joe Classified Alley Viper. I am a huge Alley Viper fan. I have every version of the Alley Viper ever made, a classified version. This figure is phenomenally sculpted. The detail is amazing. The paint job is great. The articulation is awesome. The gear that it comes with is fantastic. All the knives are removable. It is a phenomenal figure. I love everything about it. All right, the number one acquisition for 2022. This was a Grail figure for me, the 2016 Flying Scorpion from the G.I. Joe convention set. This particular figure is based on a figure from the Brazilian line, and I'm gonna butcher his name if I even try, so I'm not even gonna try and say it. Maybe the term Grail figure gets thrown around a little bit more than it should be. But man, yeah, this was a Grail figure for me, and one I did not expect to have in my collection, and one I am super happy to have. That is the top 10 acquisitions for 2022. And kind of as an homage to Articulated Chad, who gave me the idea to do this video, I am going to do a honorable mention. So the honorable mention for 2022 is the Jurassic Park Dreadnoughtus. Holy crap, this thing is fucking amazing. It is a huge ass dinosaur, and it's awesome. I mean, it has, you wouldn't expect there to be much articulation in a dinosaur, but the articulation that it does have is very functional. It's super playable, and it's as big as one of my dogs. And man, I love this thing. I wish I'd had dinosaurs like this when I was a kid with my G.I. Joes. So that's my honorable mention for 2022, is this big ass dinosaur that is super cool. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you got in 2022 that you thought was super awesome. And hopefully we'll do this again on the end of this year, and we can see what cool stuff came out this year, or what cool stuff you were able to add to your collection this year. And as always, thanks for watching.